If you're looking to start watercolor, you're probably overwhelmed by the sheer amount of different art supplies available on the market. But you don't need all of them. You just need to buy 3 things, and the rest of them are probably just lying around in your house. Brush comes in many different shapes and sizes, and they're made with different hair. Although there are thousands of brushes to choose from, you just need one to start. Round brush is very versatile, and you can totally complete a painting with just one round brush. If you're new to watercolor, it's easier to keep the painting smaller or practice in your sketchbook. So a small one like this is perfect. If you want to paint a little bit larger, you can use slightly bigger brush. So any size between these two is a very good starting point. The brushes with highest quality are usually made with natural hair, like Sable. Although they're expensive, they have the best performance and will last for years. This one is my favorite. These are also great. Synthetic sable or squirrel brushes are also good choices. In general, they have weaker performance, but more affordable. They're also way better than the nylon brush you get in a set or craft brushes. I have tried this one made with synthetic squirrel hair, and I quite like it. I wouldn't recommend getting these water brushes. The quality of the bristle is usually not very good, and the flow is hard to control. There are also many brands of paints, and they come in different forms, grades, and sizes. Artist grade watercolor has the best quality and performance, and they're more expensive. Student quality watercolor sacrifices some performance to stay affordable. It's a good option to get you going. For convenience, you can start with a set of 12 to 24 colors in a pan like this. It has decent amount of colors, so you don't have to worry too much about color mixing. You can just wet them to pick up the paint, and it's easy to put away. I personally prefer tube colors because I like to use fresh paints. You can also set up a palette of your favorite colors by squeezing them out and let them dry. They also have better value in general. Paper is the most important among all materials, so my recommendation is to get the best ones you can comfortably afford. The best paper for watercolor are made with 100% cotton, at least 140 pounds. If you're looking for more affordable options for practicing, at least get the ones made specifically for watercolor that are thick enough with some textures. The quality of paper directly affects the result you achieve, and this can make a big difference if you have been practicing for a while but feel stuck. The surface texture and format depends on personal preference. In general, smoother paper is better for details, and rougher paper is better for showing the texture. Buying paper in full sheets is cheaper than buying them in pads, but you'll have to do some extra work yourself to cut them. Any pencil would work for the sketch. Thinner lead is good for smaller painting or if you want to include more details. Harder lead will give you a cleaner result and sharper lines. Softer lead will melt into the paper and make the painting a little bit muddy. You can use any eraser you have, but the best ones for watercolor paper is the kneadable eraser. You can dab or roll it on the paper to lighten the lines without damaging the paper. This also helps to get rid of extra graphite powder that can muddy up the painting. Mixing palette gives you an area to dilute or mix the paint before putting them on the paper. Ceramic is the best material. Plastic ones will stain and create beads, but also works. My favorite palette is flat dinner plate. If you're afraid of paint mixing up, you can buy ceramic ones like this with dividers. This one is really big, but it gives you both space for individual colors and a large mixing area. And of course, you can just use the mixing area on the lid of your pen color set. Paper towels, tissues, or toilet papers are for cleaning up accidental drips, soaking up puddles, and absorb water from your brush. Paper towel is sturdier. I just leave a piece on the table to dab my brush after rinsing. Tissue is really weak. It disintegrates easily and leaves lints everywhere. So make sure you only dab gently and don't rub. Lastly, you will need water containers to clean your brush. This can be any bowl or cup that are not too small. The best setup is to have 2 containers of water, the first one for rinse off the paint, and the second one for picking up clean water to dilute the paint. Now you know the basics of what you need to get started. Each item is made by many different brands with very different qualities. If you want to learn more and dive deeper, check out my playlist here.